Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Figure Forecast podcast with your host, Maeve, and my beautiful co host, Scarlett. This week is a bit of an off the cuff episode, actually. We, like very organized people, thought we were doing great, had two guests, and unfortunately, everybody has been struck down and are not very well this weekend. So, we are taking up the reins ourselves, and we are going to bring you a Scarlett and Maeve show today. We thought we would go into how Scarlett's prep is going, how my off season is going, and kind of just reflect on some of the conversations we've had with athletes, with coaches, and everybody who's been on the show, and kind of just what lessons we've learned from them, and what takeaways we got from the conversations, and we'll see where it leads us, guys. This could be a super random one, but let's go with Scarlett and your prep and how everything is going so far, because you're only a few weeks out now, right?
So things are going well. Like, obviously, fatigue is kicking in now, and the arse dragon, shall we say, is in full swing, as to be expected. But I would say, like, in a nutshell, like, I'm feeling all right, like, mindset wise, and I think a lot of that is to do with, like, us doing this podcast, like, being able to speak to other athletes, other people in the industry, like, and just taking like little nuggets of information and inspiration to like help you push. Like, I've found, like, if I've felt like a bit more down or tired, like, I've been able to like regain that information and just keep going and keep pushing. So yeah, in a nutshell, things are going well. Obviously, routine is spot on, and we have been absolutely organized queens. Like, I want to thank you, Maeve, for making me so organized. Like, honestly, like, I thought I was organized, but honestly, this girl is next level.
I
She's on
make it
my
look fine, but really I'm pulling my hair out.
but she's like, yeah, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. I'm like, it's written down in my notes. I've got it. I've
in
got
my head.
it.
In my head. Do you have the password?
Yeah. Oh God, don't talk to me about passwords. But
What?
yeah, but like,
Wait,
sorry.
sorry. Out from the podcast, like, have you done anything differently this time that's helped with mindset? Do you think, like this time around with prep?
Yeah, so I think as a whole, like, obviously I've been doing a lot more reading, a lot more kind of listening to other people's podcasts, and just more experience, like, working with obviously clients and things like that. So I think, like, just time, or like doing the do, like, I think has helped massively with being able to switch it on when I need to. Because obviously last time was the first time, and if I think back to then, I had a lot going on in my life, bad things.
Like,
Um,
it's fine. It's fine. I can push through.
exactly. That I actually, like, I can't even remember how I felt then, because it was literally just, I'm just doing it. I'm just going for it. Like, but honestly, so many things that I think that I was doing, which I think if we go to looking on things not to do, is like things like trying to hack the diet, trying to hack the hunger, trying to sort of cheat yourself. Like, obviously when it's your first time doing prep, like, you don't know, dear, and you don't really like realize. But if I think about it, like, even just stuff like having sugar-free jelly, and
Oh my
thinking, why the
bucket
hell am
load,
I?
my first
Yeah,
prep, like every day. Oh God.
yeah, and then
Or
just being like,
sugar-free
why am I
syrup,
still so
everything
starving?
drowned,
Yeah.
drowned in syrup.
So many things that obviously I'm not doing now. Like, everything is literally just as plain as possible, like, just to the gram, just sucking it up. And it's actually made it easier.
Yeah,
Like, it
I
has
agree.
made it easier.
I agree.
Um,
I think I did a super flexible diet the first prep. And like I don't know how I actually did it and wasn't like eating my hands, you know, like because when I'm on these calories now, I'm on nearly 3,500, and if I ate like that now every day, I'd be starving, like filling my calories with that food, and like I'd make a Nando's fit or I'd make a froyo fit, and like I tell myself, but it's fine, it's healthy, it's not that bad, but like yeah, I'm just not. I didn't do it this time, and I have to agree with the stricter approach or just the basic. Like that's all I'd say.
Yeah.
It's not like that it's strict. It's just basic and it's plain, and you don't want to overeat the food then,
No,
which
I
makes
think
life
that's
so
it.
much easier. Like
And as well, like it just takes like the effort out of it, because you just like, right, on
yeah,
this day, every day, I make this and then
yeah,
I eat it
yeah.
at that time. And
It
that's
tastes like
pretty much
apple. It
it.
tastes like apple. Like you're not
Yeah,
stressing about trying to make something absolutely shit taste nice with like
I
10
know.
different seasonings and sauce.
Oh, but I mean, I have come quite partial to different ways of cooking green beans.
Do
That's
tell.
my
Do tell. The
yeah.
people need to know.
Well, you can air fry them, and you can also pan fry them. And yeah, they taste fantastic with a little bit of ketchup.
Oh,
So
no, you
yeah,
lost me
I
at
like
the
ketchup.
I do, but not on green beans. I love it on chips. Not the
Well,
vegan
they are technically chips on prep. So what are you talking about?
they are technically chips, right? No, green beans, I add like chili and green beans, chili garlic. Yum. I love it.
Mm,
Love,
yeah.
love, love. Obsessed. Um that's funny. Yeah, green beans and do you know what? I saw a hack for making asparagus. So anybody going into peak week that is still eating asparagus is a Laura Lee, one of the bikini girls had it and steam them only for 5 minutes, like, and then put them into an ice bath so they stop cooking. Because you know the way no one likes limp dick asparagus, like
Nah,
nobody
nah.
likes that. It's not a vibe. Big floppy one coming at you into the mouth. No, thank you. Um, so it's a PG podcast, guys. I'm talking about asparagus. Remember? Yeah, it's just not great. Like it's a fucking awful
Yeah.
recipe, really, unless it's done in a pan with butter and pepper. But no room for that on prep.
No.
What's what's the other interesting ways of making vegetables taste good that you've figured out?
No, like, to be fair, like, my culinary skills at this moment in time is, if it goes in the air fryer, it's
It's
going in the
sound.
air fryer. So that's like pretty much it. Like the other day, I think, what did I put in? Oh, I put that that posh kale, like the Cavallero Nero is called. Oh, it's fancy, it's lovely.
No,
It's
I'm probably going to
it's
pay about $15 for a head of it here, so I don't want to.
yeah, I mean, when you don't spend any money on anything else, you can get a little bit fancy on your
Bougie
veg.
with your vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm an organic this
Um, but I put that in the air fryer with some like salt and just for like 5 minutes, and it went like crisps.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
creepy kale,
vibing
that's
that.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yum. Okay. I might try that.
So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't weigh anything. See, it's like 100 grams of that. Laughing.
Yeah. I would say the air fryer is probably the best kitchen invention.
Oh, if you haven't got an air fryer, man, like
No. What's your
get with it.
top three or top five appliances that make meal prep good? That make meal prep easier?
Well, a good non-stick pan when it doesn't lie to you.
Yeah. When
Um,
you use oil in it.
yeah, yeah, and butter. Um, I would say the pan, the air fryer. I never really use the oven.
No, I don't use the oven, but do you know what I used a lot on my last prep? Now this is pre-air fryer, but I still really rate it. Gary made me throw it out because it's so old and rotten. George Foreman. I love
Oh
doing the chicken
yes.
and that. And lads, little tip for you: get your tin foil and wrap your chicken breast in it because then it locks in all the moisture and you don't get dry grilled chicken. Yeah, it's a good one. And and if no one has heard of egg boilers before, honestly, they're the best things. They're like $20, whatever. You get them in little, and they're amazing. They're amazing.
What,
They're
like
so
for the
handy.
microwave?
No, they just you put like you pour a little bit of water into it, put your eggs in it, like press the button, and it just stops when they're cooked.
Oh,
It's you don't know you need it until you have it, and you're like, how did I actually not have one of these before? Right? They're amazing. They're so good.
right. Be right back. Going out to get one of them
You're
right now.
you're being my next.
I
And if
did
you're
actually put, I did actually put like a full egg in the air fryer the other day just to test it because I did see something that you can cook like a whole egg just in the air fryer and get a hard boiled egg.
I don't know.
I wouldn't recommend. It makes it makes it go a bit like rubber, but I mean, I'm all for trying anything once.
Yeah, no, no.
So yeah,
Have you got the Ninja, the dual air fryer?
yeah, yeah,
I need to upgrade, I think. I need to upgrade. And I'm also obsessed with Renee, John Jewett's wife.
yeah.
She has me really wanting a Ninja ice cream maker. It
I
looks so good.
know.
I've seen so many people, guys, if you have a Ninja ice cream maker, please comment and tell us how much we need it so I can justify it. But they look insane.
I know. I know. So
Here's us
with
talking
you,
about non-diet hacks, but we're allowed an ice cream maker.
I know. So what about you then? How is your off season going? How's your reverse? Like what's the
Uh,
crack with
all
you?
of the things. Do you know what? Well, I finally this week recorded a YouTube again, so that was fun. I said I would document my reverse, and I did not document it once. So we're in the thick of off season now. We are midway through the first push phase. Reverse actually went really well, and
Yeah.
it was very different to what I'd done before because I probably did it very similar to how Jake had approached it and very gradual, smaller increases, that kind of stuff. And like that all worked for me as well. But I think I was probably a little bit mentally better this time. And I don't know whether that just is with competing age and the more experience, the more shows you do and stuff, you kind of are just better after them. But I actually took like a full week off training, full week off tracking, but I am very conscious that that will not suit a lot of people because I don't, not that I don't have a bad relationship with food. I never have. And like, I'm not a binger or I don't, like, I just don't have
Yeah.
those kind of challenges, which I'm very lucky about. Like, I know a lot of people do. So
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
are.
if that approach would work for, the majority, but I really enjoyed it
Yeah.
because I was just so like, tick the box every single day. And like, even at that, I was like, oh my God, yes, I can have smoked salmon and avocado kind of thing. It wasn't like, I'm having pancakes. But
Yeah.
no, I was really happy with how the reverse went. But this morning was a funny one. I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel ugh today. Like, when you just feel heavy and swollen. And I was like, do I have moon face? And then I stepped on the scales and I was over 80 kilos. And I was like, oh God. So I've got to that point. I figured out that point. The 80 kilo mark for me is when I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not lean anymore. Not that I'm in my head about it, which is nice, but
No. I think you look great. You put a post up was it yesterday?
yeah, I haven't really been posting because I've
Yeah.
just been like, oh, no, but I'm not mad about it. Like I'm not out of shape, but I'm clearly not lean.
I
Um,
think that I think one thing as well though that I think like take away from doing one prep and then going into another is like you get so warped with what you look like. Like I feel like I'm there now, like because I'm like I'm obviously into the 60s now. When I started, I was like 86. So like I've come
yeah,
down nearly 20 kilo. And I'm like, I look back at pictures from like a couple of months ago and I'm like, oh my God, I look like a different person. And now I'm like programmed that this is how I look.
yeah.
So when that then comes back on the other side, like it takes some adjusting, like mentally, I think, to just recognize yourself again. Like,
Or you know what, with clothes, right? Great. When
yeah,
you're lean, you can wear whatever the fuck you want and you look fantastic because no one's looking at the clothes. They're looking at how popping your delts are and how your abs look. And you're like, yeah, look at me. So the less is better. So now I'm in that weird phase where I'm like, okay, I actually need to think about what I'm wearing again. You know, I actually have to like, oh, does this actually look nice on me? Like, does it fit me kind of thing? So yeah, I'm having that whole process now, like thinking, okay, what am I going to wear coming into summer? Because not only are you, you know, not fat, but not lean, you're in your off season, right? And so it's obviously going to get incredibly hot here where I am. It's up to like 40 degrees. So that plus off season body equals a lot of chafing. So I'm trying to figure out what am I going to wear at this weight for the Aussie summer, because this is my first technically off season as a figure athlete, because obviously
Yeah.
before it I was moving from bikini to figure, and it was just like grow and completely change your shape, whereas this is the first time I haven't done figure and I'm just trying to like refine it and like get denser and thicker and stuff. So it's different. It's but I did a comparison of what I looked like at a similar weight this time last year. And I was just mini cutting at the time, and like I look way different. So like that's really the name of the game, isn't it? Like you're not gonna
I think
love what you look
visuals.
when you're not
Yeah.
like me. Like no one's gonna love it, you know. I don't care what you say, but all you can do is kind of remind yourself of, right, okay, well this is the best I've ever looked at 80 kilos. Like I'm not saying I look unbelievable, but it's the best compared to previous times at 80 kilos. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a win.
Definitely. And I think that is important to take visuals and look back on that, especially when you are like going into like an off season or a growing phase, or even people like our clients who aren't competitors, like who might be coming and wanting to do some growing, like
Yeah.
accepting that, your scale weight might be different, but you need to look at how you're looking, because when you're growing, you're going to get heavier, like even if you are leaner, because
Yeah.
muscle weighs more than fat and all that.
Yeah, but like I've had this conversation a few times recently. I have a few girls going through their first ever kind of gaining phase, and they're not competitors, just like women who wanted to build a little bit of muscle. And like these conversations have crept in because they're like, I'm
Yeah.
feeling chunky, and I'm like, look, you weigh the same as back when you started, but you're very, very different. So it's the importance of taking those visuals, because when I show someone a comparison of, well, here's you, 6 months ago before we started gaining, and here's you now, like look at the difference in your legs, or how full your shoulders are, or the width of your back and stuff like that. And like, even though, yeah, there is excess body fat there, obviously your shape is going to change big time. So yeah, I think it's actually really nice being able to go through that process and developing your mindset around the scales, because
Yeah.
like 10 years ago, if I had been 80 kilos, I would have fucking freaked out, like
Oh,
freaked out. Whereas now
honestly, same.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I am heavier, but look at,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah. I
cool.
think I think a lot of people are very still scale fixated, because we're programmed as women, aren't we, to be light and small. And I think when we do this kind of game, it's like reprogramming years of
Yeah.
nonsense.
Years,
Basically.
years of slimming world shite. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's funny because I think it's funny, like when I obviously have my partner Gary in the house, and he is making a big jump again. And it's so funny the way girls and guys' minds work completely differently in this, because he's like, right, I need to get to 120 kilos. And like, he has that number and he's fixated on
Yeah.
pushing up to that number. But can you imagine saying to a girl, like, yeah, like, let's get to 80 kilos? Like, no, like,
No.
nobody actually wants to put that number in their head. But then when you think of it, the goal is the exact fucking same. Like the
Yeah.
goal is to grow. So obviously you're gonna
But
get
as well, if you were like lean and you were like 10 kilos heavier than the last time you were lean,
yeah.
you'd be buzzing with that. Like, do you
Buzzing.
know what I mean? So it's like it's that mindset of like, what does the scale actually mean? Like, do you know what I mean? It's I think
Yeah.
that's something that I've
Oh, big
definitely
time.
got over.
What was your scale weight last time? First time you competed?
I was like 61,
Yeah. And what are you now? 60?
67.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you're more than likely gonna be heavier and you're gonna
Yeah.
look fucking insane.
Like I'm leaner now at this week,
Yeah.
this far out, compared to what I was the first time at this time out. But heavier. So it's like that's what you want, isn't it? Really. I mean, I hope I've put some muscle on.
No, you definitely have. Bye, wellness. I think so. Like, well, obviously the legs weren't. It didn't need to be a focus for you, but I think that top line, like the symmetry now, looking at you versus the first prep, is
Yeah.
there's just no comparison. Like, no
I have
comparison.
actually got a little bit of glute as well, you know. I
Oh
was
my
I
god!
know, right?
Hey, little
I was
guy.
I'll send you the video, right? But I was like I was taking a video of like
R-rated.
it's not for Instagram, guys.
OnlyFans.
um trying to see if I could see the glute lines, and
Yeah,
I could see them, and I was like, oh my God, I've got fucking glutes good in.
yeah.
Because last
No,
time it was just a flap of skin, and yeah, we know it
yeah.
was not good.
The pose that you see like the girls doing on Instagram, you know, like the bent over with the camera through their legs. I'm like, that is the goal. Like if I can get a pic, not to post on Instagram, but if I can
I
get
know,
a picture and have that pop and the teardrop, I will be a very happy person.
I
Yeah.
know,
I'm real jealous right now. I'm real
yeah,
jealous.
but yeah,
No, I was comparing those as well. Like when my scale weight this time was 66 or 66.5, and my bikini one last time was 64.9. So like a kilo and a half heavier, but like way leaner.
yeah, way
Yeah.
leaner.
Yeah. Now obviously that's comparing to two different categories. So I was gonna be heavier, but yeah, interesting. I'd love to be super lean at 70 kilos. Like if I could add another 4 kilos of muscle and get shredded, I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
Definitely.
That'd be great.
What's your like plans for this off season? Have you got a timeline or
Yeah, we updated my timeline. I am going to Thanksgiving or I'm going to America for Thanksgiving. So my brother is over there, and we're going to spend 3.5 weeks, in 3 weeks in America, some in LA, and then down to Tampa for 2.5 weeks. So my original kind of proposed mini cut was around then. So we were going to push it back and do it in December. That's obviously going to mean dieting over Christmas. It's just a bit of a ball ache because I did it last year. It's not that I mind,
yeah,
like when I'm on prep or whatever, it's just a bit annoying when you're always missing it. So didn't want to do that. So I think we're going to actually mini cut in October, um, before I go away, and then at least I have a little bit of,
wiggle
enjoyment
room?
when I come home. Yeah, not like I mean, not like I'm going to be partying every night of the week, but like it's just nice not to have to diet in December, really, isn't it?
Yeah, because you were on prep last year, weren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was training Christmas Day. I was fucking, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The stuff you do, guys. But that's the thing. That's actually a good little segue because I think, when you're on prep, you're on prep. Like
yeah,
there's no getting around it. Like, and people bitch, moan, complain, give out, throw tantrums. At the end of the day, the sooner you accept that you're just on prep, that you chose your evil, like that's that. You just need to do it. Like it's yeah, part and parcel, isn't it?
yeah. I would say like one thing as well that's like that I've taken from this one compared to the other is like setting boundaries
Yeah,
for myself, like because I remember last time obviously I had so much going on, but like I was driving like 3 hours here, like 2 weeks out. I was staying over at people's houses. I was like staying there. I was working late. Like at last prep I had 3 jobs. Like I had my 2 businesses, and obviously I was doing like a part-time little job as well because it was kind of during COVID time when it was in and out of lockdowns and stuff.
yeah.
So I had like 40 jobs just to make sure I could pay the rent
Just
and
to make
obviously
sure I
pay
can
for
afford
prep.
my
So I actually wrote in my notes like after I'd finished prep like some things that I was going to take away to the next one, and I found them the other day actually.
flies.
And one of them was like prioritizing boundaries and setting yourself saying no and just being
Yeah.
like firm with that. So like even with like my client work and stuff, I make sure that they all know that after 8:30, I am dead. But
Yeah.
I will respond first thing in the morning, and
Or
like
generous. After 8:30, I'm clocked out 2 hours before that. I can't.
and just prioritizing sleep and stuff, because like that means that I can, even when I am tired, I'm still able to do everything that I need to do, like, and it not be as much of a chore because I've not said yes to everything. And I
Yeah.
think like people try to do that, don't they? And they try to please people,
Yeah.
when in reality, like, you just haven't got the energy to do it. Like,
Don't.
and it'll just ruin your physique as well, because the more
You're
stressed and the
stressing.
more tired you are, you can tell, like,
Yeah.
so
And it's
that's
all
why
well and
I,
good. Yeah, like I always try to say, like, oh, I'll try and be more social, but like you don't have to. That's the thing. Like
no,
your friends, if they're your friends, are going to be there after prep. Like they get it. And if you explain at the beginning, like I literally said when I came back to Australia and I was going on to prep, I was like, lads, like I miss you. I want to see you. We can do a meet up for a coffee, we can do a walk, and that is it. I
yeah,
can't commit to any other plans. I can't commit to barbecues, I can't commit to parties, I can't commit to movie nights because I can't. And
yeah,
even I think I pushed myself to one or two things this prep and I regretted it so much afterwards because of how I felt the next day. I had a great time. I loved seeing people. It's nothing got to do with that. It hindered me so much. I
yeah.
disrupted my sleep. I had drained my social battery. I was mentally exhausted, and you can't,
And
you just
And the
can't.
thing is, as well, is you actually don't enjoy being there because you're not present. You're worrying about all the things you've got to do.
Yeah,
Instead of just saying, no, can we just catch up at another time, or can we do this when, I'm feeling a little bit better? Because the thing is, right, you can't actually forward plan how you're going to feel, because some days on prep
no,
you're buzzing and some days you're absolutely dead to the world. So if you're like, all right, yeah, next week I'll meet you for a coffee, but then next week comes and you're fucked. Like, you have to cancel on people, and it's like
yeah,
then people get pissed off, and
yeah.
it's just, I make no plans.
No, no, I definitely pulled back on plans this time for sure. Like because whatever about the first half of prep when you have kind of an ounce of energy,
Yeah,
but like those last few weeks, you just can't. Like you just can't. So anyone doing prep for the first time, be under no illusion how tired you are going to be and how you're gonna feel like you might be disappointing people or letting people down or that you're not a good friend or anything. But at the end of the day, your goal is priority here. Like you just have to give it your all because you're going to be fuming if you don't. And then come show day, you're like, fuck's sake, I was meeting up with people every weekend, and fuck's sake, I wasn't getting my cardio done, and I was so tired and this, that, and the other. Well, it's only your fault. Like, at the end of the day, you actually can't blame other people because you chose to do it. So just be careful with your energy at all times, also,
oh
not just
god, yeah, all times, all
yeah,
times. That's what, yeah,
all
but
times.
yeah.
I had my first Reiki session on Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah. So if or anybody who doesn't really know me, I am a very logically brained person, a very like evidence-based science, like team science kind of thing. So a lot of these things are a bit wishy-washy for me, I will say. I'm a little bit of a hippie, so I don't know why I don't like them more. But I just said a few weeks ago, I literally had another stress breakdown. So I said, this is it. Now, this is it. I need to take charge, or else I'm just being my own worst enemy. So I went to Reiki on Saturday morning. I won it a few weeks ago. So I was like, well, this is a sign. Clearly, the universe is saying, please help this
do it.
bitch. Yeah, like so yeah, it was actually really interesting. It was a very alternative, like holistic approach, but I think we look after things like our recovery, getting sports massages, getting ice baths, doing saunas, doing our stretching, doing our foam rolling. But our energy, how are you meant to
Yeah,
recharge that? Like, so it was actually really lovely. I'm not 100% sure of how it works still. Like, it was my first time and I'll probably look more into it. But all I can say is I really enjoyed the experience and it was definitely a stress relief, and you just felt a little bit lighter afterwards. Like it was just
Yeah.
a really lovely, calming, good vibes kind of thing. It was cool.
Yeah, no. Well, I think you should stick to it.
I know, and I did yoga last week. Guys, what is going on?
She's a changed woman. She's moved to Australia. She's a changed woman.
Right, I'll be journaling next.
I actually did yoga like a few. It was probably a couple of months ago now. Like my best friend is a yoga teacher, and she does her own little class on the beachfront.
Yes,
And
I
she was like, come down, like just give it a go, whatever. I was like, so here I am. I was like, right, I'm gonna come because I want to support her, and also I'm gonna give it a crack. Obviously I didn't have a yoga mat. I brought a towel, which is a bad move for sand. It was absolutely solid. Like it's a type of yoga where you actually have to like move, and because it's hard,
It is
Uh,
hard. So I made sure it was
yeah,
beginner's class. I was like,
yeah. Oh, honestly,
I can't do all this.
no. I was like, I'm just gonna sit down between these moves that you do when you're jumping around. But it was lovely, and it was nice to give it a go and try. I said, like, maybe when I've got more energy, I'll give it another go. But yeah, no, that was my first time.
Tell me about your first time. um, yeah, it's not something I have done a lot of, and I definitely don't enjoy the yogas that are like workouts. I don't like them.
Yeah,
They're not.
that's what this was like.
I don't know, the gentle relaxation ones, because I think we're probably very like high energy people. Like we're always on high alert. We're very kind of, like productive, like get shit done. It can be very hard to wind down
Yeah.
naturally. Like I find it really difficult. Like if I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, I'll breathe for 2 minutes, I'll probably be able to do it for 30 seconds and then be like, shit, I need to put out a wash, or like, I need to
Yeah.
do something. So I think being guided through that, and like the breathing, and it was just, yeah, grounding. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very
That's
relaxed.
actually what Leanne, my friend, said to me. She was like, I was watching you and you couldn't relax. You're looking about and you're doing this. She's like, you just need to chill out. I was like, girl, I'm trying.
We're trying. Yeah, it's tough though. It's tough because yeah, I'm just so highly strung. So that's my current mission. My off-season mission is to lower my stress levels. I am a hothead. I fly off the handle. So living with me is loads of fun. Keep you on your toes. What version are you gonna get today? um, no, I'm not that bad. But I
She
just
is.
need to, yeah. I am. Ask Gary, I am. No, in fairness, last week's meltdown was caused by me spilling water on my laptop while away in an extremely rural part of Australia, which meant the water just sat in it for 3 days before it went back to civilization. And by that time, it was obviously fried. And here we are, 2.5 grand later. So, I mean, that was a fair, a fair breakdown, I think.
Yeah. I mean, when you sent me that voice note, it was I didn't even know what to say.
Delete. Delete. Oh God. Yeah. God. Isn't it great to have crazy friends though?
I know,
Oh,
but we complement each other in craziness, I think.
we just take turns. It was the shitter day. Okay, you can be crazy today.
Yeah.
Oh. Um, we have obviously had some fab conversations, obviously, as well. And I think that the two of us have l- learned a lot, but also like been reassured a lot, like from a lot of the conversations, would you say? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they've been really good, and particularly like starting off this season with Awesome. I think that was really cool. And just kind of, it can be really tempting to just give in to the doubt and to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go nowhere. It's just not gonna happen. But I think a few of the last few conversations that we've had, even Claire, like the end of last season,
Yeah.
and kind of listening to how long it can take people to get where they want to be and to kind of reach their goals. And that's definitely been helpful, because I think on off season, like when you're on prep, you know the goal is coming up in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is. So it's keeping you kind of focused. But on off season, it's so easy to just be like, like, you know, meh, it doesn't matter, or like, you know, kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit. But I think from a lot of the conversations, as well as the
That's where you
timeline,
need your foot on the gas, you
yeah,
know?
and their day to day, like the people that we've talked to, and like how they structure their day, and even the likes of Autumn, like she gets up at 3 a.m., 3
Yeah.
a.m. But that's how she
That's
manages to
her
get shit
lifestyle.
done, to be
Yeah.
productive, to get her work done, to get her meals in, to get her cardio in. And you're kind of like, you lazy bitch, you don't set an alarm on some days. You know,
Yeah.
like that's pick up the slack. No, it's been really good. So I
I,
think
I,
being able
I think
to remind yourself on days that you're like, ugh, whatever, just not ours, you're like, right, come on, come
I
on.
think I think that's like a massive thing as well, is um being able to stay present with it, like regardless of what part you're in, because I think obviously when you're on prep and you're hyper focused on show and counting down the days, and like when you get to that goal, like, and you've done the show, that can be where people tend to feel a lot more lost and a little bit kind of out of sorts because they've been hyper focused on the goal. So obviously, like, taking a lot of like information from the people we've spoke to, like, it's really helped me to stay very much present and enjoy like each day, because I know that, you know, once the show's finished, we just literally go on to the next goal, because bodybuilding is a forever
Yeah.
chasing game. You never actually really get anywhere, do you? Like, you know, it's like
Keep
chasing the
going.
rainbow.
The goalposts change. You do get somewhere. The
That's the
goalposts
one.
change.
That's the one.
You never really get anywhere. I would hope so. Yeah.
But yeah, but I feel like definitely just staying present and enjoying it, like, because that way you're not you just enjoy things. Like, I've
Yeah.
actually enjoyed like hard days, and I've really just sat with them sometimes and been like, whereas before I'd be like, oh my God, I can't wait for this day to be over and my energy to be this and that. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to enjoy the fact that I'm a little bit knackered today, and I'm just going to sit down.
I'll lie to myself until I believe it.
And that, and that.
Yeah, man. Oh, speaking of energy levels, man, no. Tiredness, it doesn't go away. It just doesn't go away. It's just a different tired.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, not fun.
But yeah,
Um, how is your training going now? Are you starting to feel like prep-y in the sessions, or are you still
a
kind of
little bit, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Like, so I'll have like a couple of good days, and then my DOMs will be that bad that I have a couple of shit days. So it's kind of like that. But it's more so my headspace. Like, I'm having to really kind of give myself enough time to get myself in the zone with training, like obviously doing my warm-ups and just kind of switching off from the working day, because obviously I do my work first and then I'll go train. I find that like that has helped loads, because when my head's not in it, like, you can't dig in, you can't like, obviously my weight are down, like I am not as strong as I was, but I can still work as hard as I can. Do you know what I mean? But I think mindset wise, you've got to switch that on.
Do you have any like kind of pre-session rituals, or like anything you do to get into it, or just
No, I mean, I just do my treadmill walking, and my whatever session it is, I'll do like the, warm-ups for that. But I just it depends on how I'm feeling. If I need to pick me up, then it'll be like a certain type of music, or you know
what's your go-to playlist?
ah
What's your go-to playlist? Give it to us.
oh nah, I'm about like 16 different people on my playlist, honestly.
It wasn't me, it was Patricia.
Yeah. God, like sometimes I'm like, I need some metal in there. Sometimes I need some house. Sometimes I need some hardcore rap.
Yes,
Depends.
yeah, we're a big fan of the rap. We're a big fan of the rap.
Depends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mine's either like 90s gangster rap, hip hop, or
Yeah.
like crazy techno or like some hard trance shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
no in between.
It just depends what it just depends what you need. Like sometimes I just need something to sing along to and be like, right, I need to uplift my mood. So we're singing today, we're having a bop between sets, and sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, just got to work.
What kind of interset person are you? Are you a dancer? Are you a don't talk to me resting bitch face? Are you a pacer?
I basically just, well, at the moment I just sit and stare into space.
Okay.
I don't really talk much to people when I'm training. Obviously, like when I'm going between machines, I'll say higher and that, but when I'm training, I just get stuck in. I
You what?
try not to waste energy really. Like I'll talk to people after when I'm done or before I start and that. But I mean, I definitely don't have a
Yeah.
rest and bitch face. But yeah, you probably do, I think.
I don't have enough Botox to hide it.
Honestly, I need some more.
Oh, same. I'm booking in next week. Oh God. Um, oh God. What is your recovery method of choice? Are you a sauna person, ice bath, massage, all of the above?
Just
Just massage.
just sleep and feet up. I don't.
Yeah.
I find I'm getting too chewed if I go in the bath. Like
Oh,
I just
I'm
can't
not
sit
an
in the
ice bath person.
bath.
No.
I just as soon as I get home, just get a shower and just have like 10 minutes where I just sit. That's my recovery method at the moment.
Yeah. No, well,
Um,
sleep is obviously gonna
sleep,
be the big
yeah.
one, but I started doing saunas when I was on prep, and I've kept them in at least once a week, if not twice a week. I was doing them kind of every second day with my cardio, like on my rest days. And they definitely helped my skin loads. Like I was definitely happy with that benefit, but they're
Yeah.
lovely. I love being warm, and you know when you're freezing on
Mm,
prep and you're
I'm
just it's
started
just
getting
like 50
freezing.
degree and you're like, oh.
It was minging this morning. I had like two jumpers on and my dressing gown.
Rough. It's rough. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Jesus. I oh God. Oh God. I'm such a cold person as well. I hate it. How many weeks are you at?
Well, what day is it? Sunday. So it's like 3 weeks from the first one.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
I know.
completely
Did have a mild panic attack yesterday when my red slip come through
on
a
your
bikini, and I was
reminder.
like, oh my
Oh,
God, it's like literally coming round, and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready, but I am
are we
ready.
at the bikini reveal or is it a surprise?
I don't know yet. I'll show you, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of seen
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's stunning, guys. That's all I can say. It's stunning. No, it's fab. I really, really like this one. Really like it. Guys, that's such a random episode. So I hope
God,
you've
we've actually talked for a while as well,
we
haven't
have
we?
talked for a long time. We were like, oh God, we'll struggle to fill it. But I think we had a few rambles, we had a few tangents, and sure isn't that what we're great at the end of the day? There's what's in our brains. It's all emptied. That's my journal for the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, next week we will have a guest back on. We actually have some cracking guests lined up
Yeah.
for this
We've
season.
actually got 3 recordings next week, haven't we? So we've got a busy
Four.
one. 4.
Four. Yeah, we're recording
Who's
4 episodes. And it's actually 4 reschedules. Oh, stop organization, man. But that's us sorted then until Scarlett is finished her shows and has a little bit more brain power. We'll leave her alone. Yeah, guys, that is it for this week. Great chat, great ramble, great
Yeah. Thanks for listening
great
if you got this far.
yeah, well done. Well done. And let us know if you enjoyed it, obviously. Tell us to do it again or tell us never to attempt this again. Either is fine. Let us know. Drop us a comment. Leave us some love. Obviously, share on socials if you're enjoying the podcast and spread the love for the
Yeah.
figure gals. But that is it for this week. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. See you
See
later.
ya.